We've talked about the records, we've talked about the CDs, but is there any purpose in collecting DVDs? Okay, I didn't mean to rhyme. As you can gather by now, I am obsessed with collecting all forms of physical media. I have stopped and weaned off collecting certain types because there seems to be less and less of a use or fandom or any sort of purpose to collect certain types anymore. But DVDs will always have a special place in my heart. Honestly, we have always needed DVDs. I think my family only fully switched to streaming. I'm honestly gonna say maybe early 2019, 2018 is when we got Netflix. Because beforehand, we would either find our shows online, or we did have all the DVDs, or watch other free-to-air channels, but pretty much we have gone off full free-to-air. We only watch streaming, and so the use of DVDs is kind of void. I don't know if that's the right term. But even still, my family still collects and has a collection downstairs. I would say more than 200 DVDs. TV shows, movies, anything pretty much. We still have rows and rows of cabinets of DVDs and still sometimes watch them because there is something nice about watching something you own. About 4 Christmases back, I got my TV, which is in the corner over there, but it only does play DVDs and can kind of connect to the old Apple TV. So I kind of had to use and buy DVDs just to especially watch on that of some of my favorites, and then see how you can borrow DVDs like at local libraries, etc. Even before I had my own TV, I still would buy DVDs to collect and have downstairs out of my own pocket money, or I would get gifted ones that were especially mine. And after that, I built off that and bought some of my favorites when I was really starting to get into movies. But since then, I've kind of stopped. I used to borrow from a local library. They have a selection of DVDs, which I would borrow since I was younger. Yet, they low-key got angry at me because I tried to borrow with like 1 minute left, and they wouldn't put it through, and I got super frustrated. And if they don't have me on a record already, they definitely have my complaint emails. So I'm scared to go and re-sign up for my library card. So that's why I've kind of stuck to streaming. All the shows I watch now are on streaming, even if before I would have watched them on free to air, or I would have watched them anywhere else. I feel like even aside from records, aside from CDs, DVDs are the one that are dying out, yet they still seem to have a fandom. I don't know if it's comparable to CDs or records, yet they still do continue to make different ones, like steelbook ones or Criterion Collection special edition DVDs. But as far as like regular DVDs go, a lot of sales, I'm just assuming here, have died out because of streaming. So the last time I probably bought any new DVDs for my collection would probably be 2023, and I'm being generous, maybe 2022. I still like though having a DVD, turning it on. Sometimes they have the special like opening screen. Even in the beginning of the year, I stacked up all of my old childhood DVDs and was like, I am gonna watch all of these again. And did I really didn't. I don't really know how many I got through. And I think I just found the copies of them, and then I just found them on streaming and then thought it would be easier, which kind of defeated the purpose, but it's okay. But as much as I am into music, I would say I'm more into movies. So it's kind of not a shame. I really don't like the term like it's a shame or what a shame. But it kind of is a shame that I haven't collected or been more engaged with collecting DVDs. I really wanted to get Criterion Collection versions of some of the ones I have down here. There's like a couple that have a version, as well as just any sort of special edition ones that make collecting the DVD more like of an experience and more worth it. But when I see some of these, which were on sale for probably $5, I was like, 35, 5, 35, 5. I'm kind of like, I think I know what I'm going to go with. So as for my collection goes, of the ones that are particularly my DVDs and not just the family scope of DVDs we have, I do want to start off with 2 that my family still talk about why they don't make more of the DVDs. because these are just exceptionally good. The original, I was going to say Star Wars, Stranger Things season 1 and season 2 DVD boxes that are shaped like VHSs. Aside from DVDs, I literally did have VHS, I don't know if you say cartridges, or they're not even really discs, but I had VHS movies when I was younger, but they've unfortunately all gone. Yet I do still have these replica Stranger Things VHS box sets. As you can see, you open it up and it is literally a VHS with all of the DVDs inside, which is super cool. And it came with like special edition photos, which kind of makes collecting the DVD more important. We bought this DVD before we'd even seen the first season of Stranger Things. That's how committed, like that's how my dad was like, this seems like something cool. What other show out there has a VHS version of their Netflix show on DVD? And still my family will ask, like, is there a DVD version of season 3? Is there a DVD version of season 4? Is there a DVD version of season 5? I don't know. I don't think so. I've never seen it. But it would be cool to have a full collection of all the seasons as VHS DVD replicas. Now I remember as soon as I got my TV, I bought all of these DVDs on sale in a bundle. Actually, wait, not this one. That'll be for later. I bought all of these, actually, no. I bought all of these DVDs on sale in a bundle from JB Hi-Fi. They were probably only a couple dollars each, but at the time, and I'm gonna say 2022, these were probably my favorite movies. So let's see. Now, some of these do have Criterion Collection versions. Some of them clearly don't, but I just have the standard DVDs, which is still cool. But if I were to have a big collection when I'm older, I would love to upgrade some of them. So 2022, Lily loved Black Swan. I have Black Swan on DVD. None of these really have interesting sort of interiors, any extra bits, because they are just standard DVDs. But still cool to have this one on DVD. I think probably I played this one recently on my TV. I'm gonna say recently, like last couple years, but it's still so cool. Next, I have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So some of them aren't Criterion Collection level films, but still iconic classics nevertheless that I loved in 2022. But yeah, again, standard, but I love. Next, I remember being in 2022 and saying I don't know if they're gonna let me buy this one because I'm not 18, but I have Trainspotting, which is listed as R18, but I was able to buy it. So I guess they aren't really clear on their DVD restrictions with the age, restricted to 18 and over, but really I don't think that worked. But a classic. I love this movie. I don't think I've watched the DVD version, actually. I don't think I've seen it on DVD. I don't know if it comes with extras or anything. Then, again, another just fun family classic. I have Bend It Like Beckham. I remember I wanted the hair of Keira Knightley. I wanted the cute bob. And I have had bobs in the past, and you know what? There haven't been a cute Keira Knightley bob. I literally had this on my Pinterest. I was like, this is going to be me. I have a headband just like that that people hated on me for wearing. So I guess I really didn't rock it the same level that Keira Knightley rocked it. But that's okay. We can't all be Keira Knightley. So still, I love this movie. It's so freaking funny and iconic. And I'm also really bad at soccer, so I don't really know how I resonated with this movie, but you know. Then another one that I would probably force my parents to watch with me, and they found me very annoying, is Rushmore. Because it was one of my favorite, actually, it still is low-key one of my favorite Wes Anderson movies. It's just one of his early classics, cementing his iconic style. I used to be obsessed with Wes Anderson. I low-key still am. And also, wait, I don't even know if I've watched the DVD, but like, it's low-key so cute. And I remember, actually, I think I've seen the DVD of this, because it has a low-key, super cute opening title. The Royal Tenenbaums. My family don't like these type of movies, but I do. Such an iconic cast. Okay, it's okay. If you can literally see in the light, it's a little bit dusty. I think I might need to start watching my DVDs again. They're the same sort of quality as my CDs. I've left them to the dust, but super iconic. Love the cast. Love Wes. I wanted to be like Gwyneth Paltrow in this movie back in 2022. Now, this is what I quote as my favorite movie of all time, and I don't know why I've left it so dusty. I remember I had to buy this one specially on eBay because they didn't have a copy of it at JB Hi-Fi. But you gotta do what you gotta do when it's your favorite movie. My Own Private Idaho. Literally, I'm gonna need to rewatch this movie. Oh my god, like, look. I don't know how it resonated with me back in 2021. I think I watched it for the first time. And it resonated with me. And I still love it. I don't know why. It is just that good. It's just that moving. There is nothing like My Own Private Idaho. It's just its own genre in my mind. Because it's just that heartbreaking. I literally cry at the end every single time. I've forced my mum to watch it with me. Don't really know if it's a family classic, but that's okay. It's a classic in my heart. Now, I remember especially asking my dad to take me to JB Hi-Fi back in year 7 to get all of these films. And I think it might have been cheaper if I got them all in a box set. But do you know what? I love quantity more than quality. Boom. The Twilight. I don't know what the word for it is. A 5. You could say it's a quad because it's 4, but it has 2 parts. But I have all 5 movies. I don't know which ones I've actually watched on DVD. Surely I've watched most to all. Actually, okay. I've seen the first one definitely on DVD. Surely. I remember that the opening screen for Breaking Dawn Part 1, an iconic film. I literally feel sick like looking at the front of this. This is just nostalgia to me. Like, nostalgia, and I'm acting like it was even that long ago that I was obsessed with Twilight. But, oh my god, like, it's insane. Eclipse actually used to be my favorite film of the series. I don't know why. Actually, I think I do. Because of the, just, not banter, if that's the right word, kind of. Just fighting of Edward and Jacob over Bella. But there is a really cute aesthetic box set for all these. But, I don't know. I think I just wanted all of them physically in my hands. Oh my god, look at flipping Renesmee on the front. At least she's staying far away from Jacob. Okay. Then here are 2 childhood classic favorites. I think this one was bought for me, and I'm gonna say when I was maybe 6. I have the original Star Wars trilogy. I actually do watch these DVDs. I've watched it in the past year because I spent one day sickly watching all 3 in one day because they are that good. This is a childhood classic. It's probably a childhood classic for people many decades older than me, before me. It's still a childhood classic in my eyes, and I love it. And I love the DVDs. I feel like they're just black, but I still love it. And then the one that got me really into starting to collect things for no reason. And I remember, I think it was advertised for $9, but she gave it to me for $6. Don't know why, and I was so impressed. Titanic. Because what preteen kid does not love Titanic? I'm not gonna lie, I would love to rewatch this because I was sickly obsessed with Titanic. I don't know how I could sit through how long the movie is, like, so often because I loved it that much. Like, who am I talking? Like, this movie is so much older than me, and I'm like, it's all so iconic. Like, what do I know? But it does hold a special place in my heart. Whilst my family still does get some special edition DVDs, my dad literally just ordered the entire seasons of Ted Lasso box set DVD from JB Hi-Fi. I don't see as much of a reason to collect them anymore. If I were to collect some DVDs box set, I would want the complete seasons of The Office. Okay, that sounds a bit freaking loser. Or the Harry Potters. Like, I literally can stream both of these, but there is something nice about having it all at all times. You know, you might get rid of a streaming service, they might leave the streaming service, and then you don't have them anymore. There is something nice knowing, like, I have this for life, which sounds a bit freaking stupid. Like, it is just a movie, but it does mean a lot. Okay, please, no itching, Tuffy, no itching. I don't really know what the fandom is surrounded around DVDs, or if people are still super invested in collecting them. If there is another one that I would love, I don't know if you've seen, but there is like a American Psycho one where I don't know if it's called Steelbook or one of those ones that have a sleeve and like you peel it off and it's like his face mask pulling off, which I used to be super obsessed with getting. But there isn't that many of a range or accessibility to special edition DVDs in Australia. If I went to the US again, I probably would go back and look for Criterions, look for these different special edition DVDs. I feel like they have more specialty stores over there, whereas we don't really have that much of a selection other than buying online, which can get more pricey. And it's like, you probably have this movie on streaming anyway. Why are you getting this DVD? Unless it's like a real collector's item. I don't know. I would like to see what is the next steps for DVD collecting. We did literally recently replace our DVD player for our TV downstairs because it probably is older than me and it just conked out. So we needed to replace one, but there isn't that many options. I remember we had trouble even finding one, like finding any that was sold at like major stores nowadays. So I would love to see what the future is for DVDs. I know that they have a bit of a resurgence and people are still into collecting them, but I would love to see something for DVDs that is at the scope of collecting records. They have as much value as a record has. You can listen to a whole album on streaming, you can watch a whole movie on streaming, but it is still nice to own them. Yet I feel like there is more of a recent desire for records than DVDs. I don't really know what is in store for the future of DVDs, so that's why I've kind of stopped collecting them. I love the few I have. I love the massive amount we have as a family, but there isn't that many times when there is a need to reach for a DVD. When sometimes it's like, it's super finicky, it won't start playing because it has a little scratch. And you could literally apply that to records, apply that to CDs. It's just streaming is such a big giant, is what I'm figuring out through this collection physical media series, that it sort of whittles down the respect and importance and value of even collecting physical media unless you are into collecting. There is no need to collect it unless you are a collector. Anyways, let me know your thoughts. There was some great comments from my previous 2 videos about people's record collections, CD collections. I'm wondering if any of you guys are a lot more into DVDs than I am, what DVDs you love, what DVDs you would love to collect. If there's anything you think could be on the horizon for DVDs, for DVD collectors, what do you think that will look like with streaming? It kind of is already shown now. There isn't as much of a market for DVDs as there is in purchasing streaming services, but we'll see. Regardless, I hope you loved today's video. Just another little chat, sit down, but thank you guys for watching. Bye!